All right, let's get right into it. If you're running a CPA firm, you know growth can feel like a bit of a trap, right? You want more clients, of course you do, but not if it means drowning yourself and your team in burnout. The real goal isn't just to work harder, it's to build a smarter system that can actually handle that growth. And today, we're going to break down exactly what that system looks like. I mean, how true is this? This quote just hits the nail on the head. That amazing feeling of landing a huge new client, it can evaporate in seconds when you realize your team is already stretched to its absolute limit. It feels like you're on a treadmill and someone just keeps cranking up the speed. But what if there was a different way to do it? And no, it's not some magic trick. It's all about structure. So in this explainer, we are going to pull back the curtain on the 4-part framework that the most successful firms are using to grow, boost their revenue, and, get this, actually give their teams some breathing room. And that brings us to something called the scaling paradox. It's this really weird situation where the very thing you're striving for, growth, actually ends up creating more chaos and less control. It's the complete opposite of what you'd expect. So, if that chaos feels a little too familiar, I've got some good news for you. It's not your fault. You're not a bad manager. The reason most firms struggle with this is because it is a fundamental structural problem. The systems that got you here just aren't built to get you to that next level. So, do any of these sound familiar? You've got everyone's doing everything, so nobody's really an expert at anything. Your capacity just hits a hard ceiling. You physically can't take on more work. Your best, most expensive people are stuck doing low-level tasks. And, oh yeah, audit season basically turns into an all-hands-on-deck panic attack. These aren't just minor headaches. They're huge red flags that your structure is broken. Okay, so how do we fix this? Well, it all starts right here. Step 1, you have to define key roles. This is the absolute foundation. Before you even think about adding new clients, you have to get your own house in order. Honestly, the single biggest thing holding growing firms back is role confusion. When nobody's 100% sure who owns what, everything grinds to a halt. Work gets duplicated, decisions get stuck, and guess who gets pulled into every little problem? You, the owner. Getting clarity here is the first step to freedom. So let's simplify this. Think about 2 core functions, the doer and the reviewer. Your accounting manager? That's your doer. They are in the trenches, handling the day-to-day execution, reconciliations, the monthly close, preparing reports. But the controller is the reviewer. They step back and provide oversight, making sure everything is accurate, managing controls, and giving you those big picture insights. Just separating these 2 roles is a massive game changer. Awesome. So, roles are defined. Now we can move on to step 2, which is all about unlocking flexible capacity. See, once your internal team knows exactly what they're doing, you're going to need more horsepower to get the work done. And that doesn't just mean hiring another person from down the street. This is where you really start working smarter, not harder. By bringing in flexible offshore support, you can seriously ramp up your firm's output without being trapped by the super high costs and limitations of your local hiring market. It's all about adding capacity on your terms. And let me be really clear, we're not talking about just finding some random freelancers online. We're talking about dedicated professionals who are trained in US GAAP and IRS rules. They can take on all those essential time-sucking tasks, bookkeeping, tax prep, you name it. And the crucial part, they operate under your firm's standards. You're not losing control, you're gaining leverage, which frees up your local team to focus on the high-value stuff like strategy and client relationships. Now, this is probably the biggest question people have, and it's a really important one. Is it safe? The short answer is yes, absolutely, as long as it's done the right way. When you work with a reputable partner, security and compliance aren't afterthoughts. They are built into the model from the very beginning. It's designed to protect your firm's standards and, most importantly, your clients' data. Okay, on to step 3. Now that you've got your rules clear and your capacity is flexible, you are finally in a position to grow your revenue by expanding what you can offer. This is where you get to start saying yes a whole lot more. Think about this. Have you ever had to turn a client away because you didn't have the staff for, say, a specialized type of bookkeeping? Well, that's where white label services come in. They are like a secret weapon. You can instantly add new services to your menu, deliver them under your firm's brand, and you don't have to go through the headache and expense of hiring a whole new department. And the process itself? It's so simple, it's beautiful. Your partner handles all the technical work on the back end. You stay as the face of the company, managing the client relationship and the billing. And the best part? Your firm gets all the credit. To your client, it just looks like you've added another incredible service, making you even more valuable to them. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, step 4, finally conquering audit season. Let's be real. For most firms, this isn't just a busy period. It is a full-on battle for survival. But it absolutely does not have to be that way. So instead of completely burning out your best people, or even worse, turning away profitable audit work, you can partner with a specialized support team. It's a much leaner, much more strategic way to handle the crazy demands of audit season without letting it completely derail the rest of your business. So what does that support actually look like? Well, they manage all the heavy lifting, the documentation, the work papers, the control testing, and they do it all following your firm's existing methodology. This frees up your senior U.S. staff to focus on what they do best, high-level oversight and client reporting. You're basically transforming panic season into a smooth, manageable, and profitable process. So, when you put all 4 of these pieces together, what do you get? You get this: sustainable scaling. And it's so much more than just getting bigger. It's a complete system that actually fuels growth, protects the quality of your work, and, maybe most importantly, gives you and your team that breathing room you've been dreaming of. So let's just do a quick recap of this 4-part structure. Number 1, you establish crystal clear roles. That's your foundation. 2, you add flexible capacity with offshore support. 3, you expand your services and your revenue with white label partners. And 4, you scale your audits with specialized support. See how each step builds on the last? It creates this powerful engine for growth. And that really just leaves us with one last big question for you to think about. Take a hard look at your firm right now. Is it actually structured for real sustainable growth? Or is it just structured to create more work and more stress? The answer to that question is going to tell you exactly what you need to do next.